The Empathecary Podcast is a Mind Garden Media podcast in association with
Screw You, Todd
Productions. It's been a little while, but I think it's time for another Empathecary Podcast with Sandy and Todd.
Hey, Todd.
Hey.
So this episode is going to be really cool because it's about something that I feel like we should all be doing at some point. Meditation. Meditation is so important because it helps you sort of clear your mind and get a handle on your day each and every day.
Right. And there's different kinds of meditation and possibly some meditation ideas that you've never thought about. And we're going to talk about that this week. It's all about meditation, and it's on the Empathecary Podcast. It's next.
Feeling a bit lost? Not sure what's holding you back? A transformational tarot session with Eclectic Path Wellness can provide the guidance you need, combining tarot and coaching to help you understand and navigate the changes you may face. Heal, empower, and clarify your path. Connect with us on Facebook at Eclectic Path Wellness.
What is this, episode 4 now of the Empathecary Podcast?
I think we're in episode 3. We're episode 3.
Are you sure about that?
I think so.
No, I think we're on 4.
Wait, let me check now.
Okay.
Now you've got me wanting to check.
We'll put it to the producer, and I'll let her check. But I think we're on 4.
Nope, I'm sorry, we are. You're right.
Thank you. Thank you once again.
Todd is right.
Todd is right. Well, here's the thing. Todd is always right. In one way, shape, or form. Todd is always right. Welcome to the Empathecary Podcast. It's where we talk about things empathic that deal with being an empath. Let's just put it that way.
I thought you were going to say things that make you go, but in a weird way, it kind of is a podcast about things that make you say,
You're right. And I got a message from one of our listeners, a listener of the Sandy and Toddcast, and also a listener of the Empathecary Podcast. And they mentioned that they didn't realize until their eyes started opening up about being an empath during the pandemic.
Yep.
And then having listened to the first, count them 3, not 2, but 3 podcasts of the Empathecary, they're realizing more and more, hey, this is me. This is what I go through. And so I think that you and I, while we may have kind of had an inkling that something was going on before the pandemic, I think the pandemic really opened our eyes to being empaths.
Oh, without a doubt. Between this podcast, well, let's back it up even more. Between our friendship and our sharing of our experiences and thoughts and ideas just with each other, starting the Sandy and Toddcast, and now the Empathecary Podcast, and sort of coming into our soul tribe, so to speak, that we have now, I have blossomed as an empath, as an intuitive. I have just blossomed in the past couple of years, and I'm so happy about it. So if we can change if we can open someone's mind to it, who may have had just an inkling like we did, but didn't really understand much, we can help them in their journey. I would say that is so worth it.
I've had a number of instances, probably in the last year at least, where I'm having conversations with people who have been in my life for quite some time and may have been on the verge of, that relationship you have as an empath with your friends where sometimes they're a little much. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But then also coming to realize they might be a little much because they too are an empath and don't realize it.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, for a long time, I'm like, why am I like this? What's this depression about? What's this angst about? What's all this stuff going on about? And I thought, well, you're just crazy. You're nuts. You need medication. You need something, right? Mm-hmm. And then you come to realize that not all of it's yours, and you come to deal with it. But then in being an empath and having these friends who are always, again, maybe a little bit too much, then sometimes my eyes have been open on a couple of occasions where it's like, oh, I don't need to be, helping them. What I need to be doing is helping them understand why they're going through this stuff, that they too are an empath.
Right. It's very interesting, the dynamic that one empath will have with another empath. And it's interesting because we'll just use you and I as an example. I don't ever feel like you're too much because I think we are on the same page.
Well,
where
good. I'm glad to hear that, by the way.
I hope I'm not too much for you, but in all seriousness, we've sort of learned how to balance each other. And, when we need to take some time where, there are days when we're in constant contact and there are days when we're in a little bit of contact. Mm-hmm. But the difference is that we know to give each other that space that we need. It's not, we don't have to be speaking all the time because we understand each other, and being an empath, we understand how that goes in our lives. And there are some times when I just have to sit back and just be like, I can't have contact with anyone right
We were just talking about that before the podcast. Just, the messages are always coming in on social media and Twitter and chat and texting and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes and I think we all do this in life, but you have to pick and choose what you dive into at that particular moment and what can wait until later.
Yeah, they call it bandwidth. If you don't have, some days I don't have the bandwidth to, I get a lot of messages every day. Sometimes it's all just fun, cute stuff. And sometimes it's stuff where people need your help. And if I don't have the bandwidth that day, I have to just not open the message and I let it go until I'm able to deal with that. Because first and foremost, as an empath, it's about you. It's about your self-care. Because if you're not careful about what you give out and what you take in, you can really do damage to yourself.
Sometimes, I'm not going to lie, sometimes I do that as well. Had an instance of it this weekend, but I'm not going to lie, I felt bad about it. I felt bad about not responding because I think I could say, hey, listen, I don't have the bandwidth for that right now. But it's just easier to kind of like not talk about it or not dive in at that moment.
And you shouldn't feel bad, though. I don't think anybody should feel bad. I think it's just, they're coming to the well and the well isn't necessarily full at that point. And so if you go to the well and there's no water in the well, you can't get the water anyways.
Yes.
So, I always just feel like, just be patient. When I can do it, I'll do it for you. It's so overwhelming at times. And that's why, we're at a point where we're starting to learn how to manage it a little bit better. And so, hopefully we can do that for other people and let them know that, hey, you're not alone. We go through the same things you go through.
Right. And one of the things that I've been doing for a little while, even without knowing it, is something we're talking about today, and that's meditation.
Yeah.
It's really become a power word for a lot of people. I've heard Howard Stern for a long time talk about transcendental meditation. It's been big in his life for a long time. Mm-hmm. And so I was always kind of interested in it. But with anything, and especially in the stuff that we talk about, sometimes there's not a lot of really easy information to get through. I feel sometimes in the woo-woo world, we have to jump through way too many hoops to get the information we're looking for. Mm-hmm. And part of that may come from the fact that we live in the here and now age where if we want to look something up, we go online. In the old days, you'd have to plan a trip to the library and you might have to wait 4 or 5 days to get down there. And then you'd have to go to the card catalog and know what the Dewey Decimal fucking system was. But now we want stuff now. And I think sometimes all that information, so much of it, that can become overwhelming too. So as we talk about meditation, the very first thing I want to talk about meditation is there's no set way to do it. Yes. There are specific programs you can go through. There's certain things you can follow but to to me, it's a little bit like religion, okay? A lot of religions say you say this, then the pastor says this, then you respond with that, then you sing that hymn, and then you do, there's a lot of that going on.
That brings me back to, being 7 years old, my grandfather taking us to Catholic services on Sundays and, the back and forth. I could still probably recite it today for you, 45 years later if I needed to, because it's sort of burnt into your brain. But there are so many different levels of meditation. There's so many different kinds and so many different levels, and you don't have to immerse yourself in all of these higher level ways of doing things. It's so simple and it's so easy.
I know for a lot of people, one of the things that, for people who want to know, I have to do A, B, and C in order to meditate, those are the type of people that may need to seek out somebody to teach them a certain way. But for people who are pretty good at being able to tune out the world for short periods of time, meditation can be very, very simple. Yeah. It can literally happen right here, we could meditate right now on this podcast. Yeah.
It's not this meditation really in its purest form is not anything mystical. It's not like, the world of unicorns. It's meditation is essentially to help you relax, to help you clear your mind of any negative things going on, to make you focus on something other than the negativity, and to just lower your stress level. And in its purest form, that's what it is. If you've ever laid on the couch in the quiet, and maybe you're reading and then you put your book down and you close your eyes and you just lay there and relax a little bit, that's meditation. But a lot of people don't realize that because they think it's this stereotypical om and, you know,
see colors
legs crossed.
And
yeah. And it's not. It can be if you want it to be, but it doesn't have to be.
I think too, like for me, when people pray, again, and those prayers may not necessarily be the exact words written in that specific religion, but a prayer can also act as meditation.
Sure.
Our good friend Holly Hughes, the other day, you were telling me before the podcast, posted her meditation was dancing around.
Yeah, that's what she does in the morning. She meditates and she does kind of dance moves. And I laughed at it because it was so cute. But at the same time, it's her way of meditating. It's what she's found works best for her in the morning. And if it works good for you, then that's all you need to know.
You know, the questions I always get is like, well, what do you do? What do you say? What's in your mind? And I meditate in different ways. My favorite way is something I know that you do, and it's something that I've done for a long time. I never call it meditation, but it's literally taking a bath.
Yes.
I will take a bath. And it'll be a soaking bath, and I'll use bath salts and all that kind of crap. No bubble bath because I have very sensitive skin. But I will take a bath, and usually I'll light a candle or something like that, and I will just relax.
Yeah.
And I will do my best to push everything out. Occasionally, I might scroll on my phone to find something that I want to learn about or think about. Something light is usually not a heavy topic, and I might do that. Or I might just lay there with my eyes closed.
It's so funny because I do the same thing. When I'm in the bath, like I might get on my phone, but it's not for Facebook. It's not for Instagram.
Right.
It's not for, chatting with people. It's more or less, I mean, obviously if we message each other, we'll answer each other, but that's not the point. The point is I'll find something that I've been wanting to learn about or wanting to find out about, or a topic that I heard about, and I'll go do that because for me, that's relaxing. And that is meditating too. Just finding something to focus on that's outside of your physical and mental normalcy, I guess you could say. And sometimes I'll just lay there and I've fallen asleep in the bathtub because I'm so relaxed and I've been meditating and closing my eyes and relaxing that I'll actually fall asleep.
Right.
So that's another form of it. It's whatever is best for you. There's a lot of reasons why you should. A lot of people who are in physical or emotional pain, meditation should be for you. It kind of helps you understand your pain, understand your body better, understand where you need to maybe work on yourself a little bit, emotionally, physically, mentally. It improves your focus. And I want to tell everybody about one that I do in a few minutes that is so easy, and it improves your focus so much. It can lower your stress. You can connect with yourself better. You know, you can find out more about yourself. One thing that I would kind of parallel it to was when I was first diagnosed with diabetes and I was learning how to eat better and change my lifestyle. You don't realize how connected you can become with your own body when you start to really take care of your body. And little things that I noticed about my body's response to different foods, to the environment, to all kinds of things. The minute I started to take care of myself like that and change my lifestyle, it just opened up this whole world for me. And that's what I think meditation can do, is it can sort of help you connect with yourself on many different levels and understand yourself better. And that's why I love it.
Meditation can also be reading a book in a quiet corner. Meditation can be focusing on yourself, as you mentioned, or even connecting your spirit with other spirits.
Yeah.
You can do manifesting meditation, which we have done pretty much monthly for a few months.
Yep.
And had just huge success with it. I can't tell you how much success we've had with manifestation.
I know.
Which, again, when I manifest, it's a meditation state. Mm-hmm. If anybody's ever seen us do live casts, I have candles in the studio. Part of my meditation is lighting a candle at some point in my workday.
Yep.
And there's a podcast that I listen to 3 times a week that kind of gives me an outlook for what's the week holding, what's the next movement as an air sign, as a collective with all the other signs, all this stuff, what to look forward to, that kind of stuff. So that can be part of meditation as well.
Yeah, I have candles. I like candles. Everybody sees my candles during our live cast. I have one right next to me on my actual work desk that is positive energy. And so I light that one while I'm working every day and keep it next to me. And sometimes I will literally just turn to the candle and just focus on the candle for a little while. And even if it's 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and what that does is give my mind and my body a little bit of a break and helps me focus so they can continue to do whatever I'm doing. That's meditation. There's no set time. There's no set, place that you have to do it. There's no set way that you have to do it. It's whatever works for you.
And that's so much, in my mind, what the woo-woo world kind of is too. Meaning, listen, if you want to actually study and practice focused meditation or mantra meditation or progressive relaxation, there's all sorts of things out there. But if you want to get started, start with what makes you comfortable.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
And I think sometimes that just is trusting yourself and your body and your spirit and your mind to understand what you need to do in that moment. If that moment is take a bath, take a bath. If that moment is lying down on the bed, lie down. If you can do it sitting in a chair, lighting a candle, whatever that is, do it. And, like manifestation, I know we'll talk about that on another program too, but because I meditate when I manifest in different ways too, but my favorite way is to bring in and have the knowledge of what I'm trying to manifest pretty concisely. I'm not a specific manifester, so I'm not going to say I want $4 million and I want it to come to me this way, but I'll say financial stability over the next whatever. Yep. And what I'll do is I'll take that. Do you remember Harry Potter? Where there was, and I don't remember what it was, but there was a basin. And whenever they wanted to get rid of memories and store them, they would pull it out with their wand and then put it in this basin of water. Okay.
Yes.
I don't do it with the wand, although I have, but I will take that and I will feel that manifestation into the universe above me. And it will, all my manifesting that I'm doing at that moment, I will swirl around my head in the universe until I'm ready to pass it along. And then with my energy out of my palms, I will then force it out into the universe.
You know, ever since you told me about that, I don't even know, maybe 5 or 6 months ago. And ever since, when I manifest, I do the same kind of idea. And not only does it seem to work for us, but it just, I don't know, there's something about doing it like that that makes me feel fulfilled and makes me feel so much better after I do it. I feel like I've just won the lottery.
It's really energizing, isn't it? Like when you feel that power from your hands and you're shooting it out there, you feel like you're really working some magic or something.
I know. It's a really cool feeling. And and we will get into manifesting maybe in our next episode, but, isn't that kind of what it's about, is to send your energy out into the universe with your intentions. And so the more energy that you can get when you send it to the universe, hopefully the more that will come back to you. And I will say the times that we've done it, it has worked. Sometimes the next day it has worked. So real quick story though on manifesting. I really manifested. Dave and I were taking a trip to Vermont, and I manifested like the night before. And I said, I really want to, I was trying to be as specific as I could be. I really want to win like the lottery. And so we were in Vermont, and we got some scratch off tickets, because whenever we go to another state, we buy their scratch off tickets. And believe it or not, I did win $2.
Yep.
But, hey, maybe we should be a little bit more clear on our intentions sometimes. I don't know, but I did win $2. I'm just saying. So, but meditation, so much the way to go. A lot of people, I think a lot of us do it. We don't even realize we're doing it.
Well, that's the thing, again, because we're taught to think meditation is this thing where you have to sit down, like you said, cross-leg. It's got to be 20 minutes. You got to say this. You got to think that. You got to, and you don't need to do that. If you want to practice that occasionally and you have time to do that type of stuff, I think it's great. But I think taking just a moment of quiet time, reflecting on your life, remembering those in life that you possibly miss. I mean, all that is very, very important to our souls, to our spirits, and then to basically clear your energy of all the negative that's around us on a daily basis. To me, that's what meditation is. And again, a lot of times it's a bath. Sometimes it's me sitting in the studio during the day listening to that podcast. And I will tell you that if I've gone a day or two without it because it's been busy or I just couldn't find the time, I can feel it. I can tell that I never took that time to just be quiet, to be still.
Yeah.
I even meditate on walks.
Yeah, you can. Like for me, it's that 30 seconds that I sit and look into that positive energy candle and just free my mind of everything. One of the other things I do is I focus on my breath, because it's so true, and everybody should try
Thank God,
this
because
just for fun.
You should just carry some mints with you on that.
Oh, be quiet. Be quiet. You're such a pain. You're such a pain. No, but it's true. Everybody should try it, because when you focus on your breath, breathing in and breathing out, it is impossible to focus on anything else. When you're focusing on taking a deep breath, holding it, and then exhaling it, that's all you're thinking about. There is nothing else that exists in this world when you're doing that. And it's the wildest and coolest thing ever. But what it does is it frees your mind of anything negative, anything heavy, anything stressful. And it just makes you focus on you. And it's 10 seconds, it's 10 minutes, however long you want to do it. But it's so cool and it's so important. And that's one of the things I'll do. I'll just sit. I'll decide I need a few minutes break during the day. And I'll just go sit on the floor in my studio, and Spike will stare at me like, "What are you doing, Mom?" And I just close my eyes and focus on my breath and breathing in, holding it, maybe counting to 3, breathing out. And it works wonders for you.
I find too, taking my dog for a walk. Depending on when you're listening to this, where I'm at right now and this time of year, it's autumn. Mm-hmm. And usually by now we've had some snow and it's turned cold, but the last several days have been just gorgeous. And so it's almost like an extended autumn here right now.
Yeah.
And to walk and see the leaves and hear the wind and hear the leaves crunch beneath your feet and just realize where you are in the universe. I can meditate while I'm walking. And mm-hmm. that's just, again, grounding myself.
Yes. Getting
grounded, because I'm an earth grounder, even though I'm an air sign. That really, really helps me.
That's me too. I'm the same way. I'm an earth grounder. And so when I'm outside, there are times when I'll take Spike outside, especially in the fall. I don't know what it is about the fall, because I think the air is crisper and I think there's less, maybe, I know this sounds funny, but maybe less gunk in the air. And so I feel like I have a deeper connection with the earth and my surroundings in the fall. Always do. And I'll just stand there while he's in the backyard and I'll just take it all in. And that's me meditating. I'll take deep breaths and then I'll just focus on the beauty around me, what's going on, my gratefulness. It's interesting about meditation because scientists believe that 95% of our behavior each and every day is basically autopilot.
I believe that. I believe that. And more and more
as without even thinking. Yeah. And what meditation is the complete opposite of that. Meditation is mindfulness. Meditation is making yourself stop, making yourself focus, making yourself make a mindful decision to do that, to think about yourself. We all wake up and we eat breakfast, we get ready for work, we go to work, we drive to work. We could probably drive to work blindfolded because that's how we go each and every day, every single day. But meditation is that complete opposite. It takes you off of autopilot and makes you focus on you. And that's so cool.
Well, I think we've maybe gotten the point across. Again, if there's specific meditation that you want to study, by all means do that. I think that the more you can learn, the better off you are. But for anybody, whether it is doing rituals or it's manifesting or it's meditation or it's any form of that.
Yeah.
Whatever feels right to you is right. Go with it.
I think that's everything in the woo-woo world, the intuitive world. It's what is good for you. One of my favorite classes throughout my life in college, high school, college, were classes where we were allowed to be free thinkers. It wasn't, you must do A, B, C, and D. You must learn it A, B, C, and D. We were given the background and allowed to make the choices for ourselves. And that's basically what this really is about. Making the choice for yourself. What makes you feel good, what works for you. Be that free thinker and make your own choices.
Right. Sounds good to me.
Me too. I hope this helped everybody. And I will make sure you like our page on Facebook, the Empathecary Podcast on Facebook. And I will put up a simple meditation.
Love it.
If you're still not sure where to start, I will put one up for you so that you can sort of start there and then expand it the way that you feel you need to do.
I love it. I'm just sitting here while you're talking before, and I'm thinking about like how I like to garden and how like plants are really important to me, and like, dealing with my herbs and stuff like that. That's very meditative for me, but purposeful.
Yes.
And I'll just throw this out there as we're wrapping things up. Even cooking dinner, like taking the time to seriously prepare, chop up the vegetables because you're going to make soup, let's say, and frying those a little bit, cooking those a little bit, sweat them out while you're getting the rest of it together. That can be very meditative too if you take the time with it. It can be a very beautiful thing.
I'm not the biggest crafting person in the world, but every once in a while I'm actually working on some crafts right now.
Oh, God.
Well, for our big 1-year anniversary for the Sandy and Toddcast in January.
All I can think
we're going to
of
be doing some giveaways.
My aunt and those damn hats. What did your mom call those hats?
Kubalines. Oh my God. I still can't believe that I thought that was a real thing all these years. I'm going to be 51. I thought they were, until about 2 years ago, I thought Kubalines were real.
So
I don't know.
They're the winter hats with the little pom-pom on top.
Yeah.
And my
Dave
aunt
calls them pupkey hats.
See, I'd never called them anything but ugly because we always got really ugly ones for Christmas. Those and mittens. And we had a dog at the time, and all you could hope for was the dog would rip it off your head and run away with it, which she did quite often. And you'd never see them again.
Well, don't worry. My crafts aren't like that. My crafts are pretty decent. But that to me is meditation because I'm focusing on one thing only. So whatever it is for you, bottom line, is what you need to do to focus on you and your own mental, physical, and emotional health.
Love it. So do us a favor, like the page, share it with friends, talk to them about this kind of stuff. The more people you talk to about it, the more people you realize are just like you, and they need an outlet to talk about it as well. Don't miss us on the Sandy and Toddcast, where we have live video casts, and we do plenty of other stuff as well. And what are we up to now? Episode something in season 3, 10, 11, 12, something like that.
10.
We've got
season 3, episode 10 is out now.
But we've got 11 in the can ready to go, right?
Ready to go.
I'm already counting down until we're done with this damn season. And then we'll take some time off for the holiday. So lots of interaction here. And of course, join us on Stay Weirdos, friends of the Sandy and Toddcast. You can join us there too and have some fun. So
yeah, lots of bonus episodes and bonus content in our group, Stay Weirdos, friends of the Sandy and Toddcast. So get your butt over there, join us, and have some fun.
Excellent. Until next time, for the Empathecary Podcast. Bye.
Bye.